Welcome back to Nyaso. We're very pleased to have you join us. If you're new visiting, consider subscribing and join the family. And if you're returning, we're in for another exciting episode. Today, we're going to talk about the cost of black hair and how we can save money. By black hair, I mean any type of Afro textured hair that grows naturally out of your head in a curl, coil, kink, amazement, spirals, all these wonderful things that your hair does. Because it does that, and a lot of times we live in various climates where it has an impact on our hair, we have to think, what do I do with my hair? And that doing with the hair costs a lot of money. And that money that we're spending on our hair, it's not going into a bank account and it's not being saved. So today I just want to share with the young professionals, what can we do to actually save money from being spent, being given away to others to make us look and feel better. The first thing we're going to talk about is actually our natural hairstyles. Some natural hairstyles are very expensive to maintain. A lot of times we're going to have to learn how to look after our hair. The best way to save money, hands down, is to do it yourself. If you can do it yourself, then you're paying nobody else how to do it. But I know we don't have time, we don't have the skills, it takes a long time to learn it. It is a pain, we don't have patience. And for a lot of people, they may not just have one head, their own head to look after, they may have children, they may have nieces, nephews, parents, and like a whole list of people whose head is their responsibility. Or they may feel it's their responsibility, and you don't want anyone you love to go out in the streets looking like nobody loves them because you love them. So you help do their hair or you contribute towards paying for their hairstyles, but it all adds up and it takes away from your savings and your investment plans. So what can you do? We can start with natural hairstyles. And while it's difficult to learn, and it is time consuming, hands down, it's time consuming, we just have to figure a way, how can we do this? And if we know we absolutely cannot do it ourselves because some hairstyles need a lot of specialist techniques and things, then we have to set money aside to get it done. And if you have to set money aside to get your hair done and you're trying to save, then you have to figure out, how can I cut back on that money I'm setting aside? If you're doing your hair every week, then maybe you might want to see if you can stretch your hair to doing it every 2 weeks. If it's a natural hairstyle and you think, okay, I do it over the weekend and then I do it again over the next weekend, is it possible for you to consider for the sake of your investments, your future investments, if you can do your hair every 2 weeks? And then at the end of the first week, maybe you can do some tidying up or something yourself. So it means the hair goes on for 2 weeks. So now you're saving 1 week of cost. Or if you are doing your hair every month and you go to the hairdresser, maybe you can consider and see how you can go for a month and 2 weeks perhaps. And after the first month where you'd normally go to the hairdresser, you might say, okay, can I tidy up the edges or something myself where it doesn't look so bad or so untidy? But that means you're saving 2 weeks of money every time. And if you were going to the hairdresser every month, in a year, that's 12 sessions. And if you're paying, say, $200 a session, this is me trying to do mental math. Could help me. So if you're paying $200 a session, 2 times 12, that's 24, that's $2,400. But if you reduce your sessions to every 6 weeks, so now instead of going 12 sessions, you would have maybe 8 sessions. This is really quick math. So 6 divided by all kinds of numbers. I have not done the math yet. I will put it up on the screen, but let's say maybe it cuts it down to 8 sessions. This is just me guessing. So now you're paying $200 times 8, which is $1,600. So you would have cut down your cost from $2,400 to $1,600 which is about $800 in savings, just like that. I know, but then that means that for those 2 weeks, you didn't feel your optimal, but you were feeling that your bank account was being optimized. So that's where the joy comes in. So it's kind of like a slight transfer of gratitude, I guess, where it's going from your, what do they call that thing, snatched, or all these different words that they have to say you look awesome, wonderful. It's to going from the gratitude of that visual image to considering your bank balance, which now has $800, which it wouldn't have done. And there are also things like hair products that you might be able to buy or source more natural ones in a way that may be affordable, or even consider mixing your own. There are tons on the internet. In fact, I do my own hair. I started off doing my own hair myself from an early age, but more so when I went to university in a place where there were no Black hairdressers nearby, so some time ago. And then you're really in a position where, what are you going to do with your hair? You're not going to go back to London, spend money, transport and cost to do your hair, which I didn't have as a student, didn't have the money. So then I learned to do my hair myself, and I start doing micro braiding, and any kind of braids are easy. And if you have braids, and I'm sure a lot of people know the secret with braids, you do your hair once first. If you go to the hairdressers, they do all the braids in, and then after 3 or 4 weeks, when it starts to look not so good, you undo one, you do the rim around your face, make that look tidy, and the rest you can extend for that extra 2 weeks, 3 weeks. And if you get more adventurous, you can just keep doing the first few after 4 weeks, and then do the next few, and then the next few. And I go to the point where I'll do my hair myself, stay up all night on a Friday night or Saturday night or something, do my hair, all of it. And 3 or 4 weeks later, when it starts to get a little bit loose or untidy or something, I would literally start doing one. So every night I'll do 3 or 4, go to bed, 3 or 4 and go to bed. Eventually I'll do my whole head again. And then it would be another 2 or 3 weeks before I start the process again. Yes, it was long, but yes, it didn't cost me much money. And also consider reusing the extensions. I know this is going into like spaces that some of us don't want to go to, but I would buy extensions, and I would buy reasonably good quality ones that don't tangle in themselves so much, and I will reuse them. And each time you reuse them, you'd have to cut a bit off because it was looking straggly. So you start with extensions down to like hair, and the next time you do it up to hair. And after 3 or 4 times you get a hair, and then maybe by then you might be cutting your hair, and then I get another packet. If on the other hand, you have a chemical-based hairstyle, like a perm or a texturize or one of those things, then now to maintain that look, you have to go to someone who can put the chemicals on your hair and do the processing every period of time, because your hair is going to grow naturally out of your head in its beautiful, beautiful curl, coil, kinks, all of that. But if you've done something with the rest of it, then obviously you're going to have that sort of rise of natural hair. And then you have the other on top, which tends to be sort of straight and a bit more limp if it's wet. So that's a challenge. And the solution for that is you can again try and extend it, and maybe after it's grown to a certain point, maybe do some partly natural hairstyle, but then your hair may break if you leave it in a style, because the top that's texturized would need constant or relaxed would need a different type of moisture level, and it may have weak points. So those are things you'd have to consider. And I would like to encourage you even to stay away from relaxers and just let your natural hair be, because those things have a habit to sip into our scalp and cause all kinds of problems that we don't even know, because half the times those chemicals, they're not very good for our bodies. So if you can, stay away from them. Now, onto the biggest thing that really sucks the money, like a straw, you're trying to drink the last of that drink and you're making that sucking noise, That's how these next things suck your money from your bank accounts. They just suck your money like a straw. These are wigs and weaves. And it has become so incredibly popular for people to have wigs and weaves. And I can see why, because it's easy, especially with the wig. You just put it on your head, and people do all this thing, and they cut the lace and they style it, and voila. But they suck your money away. That's my only concern with wigs, is that they suck your money away. If you're able to buy one and then it lasts for like a long time, it depends on how much it costs. Because when I Googled the price of a wig, it went from, they said something like $200 to $2,000, but I know their wigs like $3,000. That is a lot of money. That's a lot of money. That's a lot of money. So if you have a wig and it costs that much, I would not advocate buying a wig that costs that much. I would really advocate spending the money to grow your hair. And if you do want to message me about tips to grow your hair, please do so. I make my natural hair products, and this is my natural hair right here, just like that, and it's styled naturally. I did some braids, but you can do anything, and it's all because it's cost saving. And the longer I've done it, it means my hair has grown. So now that I can, my cost savings have even increased, and I don't even go to the hairdresser ever. The wash process is simple, because I just wash my hair with shampoo. I don't do I know lots of people do like different things where they spend like 3 hours washing their hair. Everybody's hair process is different, but the product I use, which I make, it's very rich, it's very fatty, natural fatty, organic. So when I wash my hair, I just wash my hair, I use sulfates-free shampoo, and I wash my hair. And when I'm done, I moisturize my hair with the same product. It's a body moisturizer, and it's done. And then I braid my hair in big pigtails or whatever it is, and then I do them or I leave them in. After a period of time, your hair will grow. The only other ingredient you need is water, because the hair needs water. So if you want to find out how can you transition from the wigs, the weaves, and all of those things that just suck your money like that straw away, please message me, because that is one of my passions, that we don't spend money on wigs, because most of the time the money goes to people that are not in your community, not in your family, and all these other things. So that's all we have for today. Thank you very much for stopping to visit with us. You take care. God bless. Bye.